Welcome back to another Habs Nation video with the hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy. Let's talk about Nick Suzuki. The captain Nick gave a motivational speech to these young kids, Habs development camp, trying to make the team and trying to give them some words of encouragement and maybe try to even ease their nerves a little bit and let them know, like, hey, you can do this, which honestly, it's just awesome. Like, if you haven't seen this clip of Suzuki, you got to go check it out. It raised my respect for him so much, and it got me thinking, like, this is just crazy, man. Being an NHL captain for any franchise is extremely difficult, but being named captain at 22 years old of the Montreal freaking Canadiens. Come on. I don't think people realize how incredible of a job a 23-year-old right now is doing of being the captain of probably the most storied franchise in all of hockey. Can you imagine you go to work and you're getting compared to guys like Jean Béliveau, Yvan Cournoyer, and much more? Not easy to be captain in Montreal. Look at Max Pacioretty to me. That's a prime example of a guy who wasn't able to handle being the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. The pressure that brings can be absolutely crushing to some guys, and they're just not built for it, especially if you don't speak French. Like, I know it's not a deal breaker because the Habs have had a ton of non-French speaking captains, so the fans, they get over it, but hey, you have to put in at least some kind of effort. We'll see a lot of guys at their introductory press conferences as captain. They'll be like, oh, I'm so humbled and honored to become the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. They'll usually say that in French, and a lot of them are nervous saying it, but at least they're putting in an effort. And the captains that a lot of these French-speaking fans like the most are the ones who, even if they don't speak French, they put in an effort, and that's exactly what Nick Suzuki's doing. Like, it's not just in his first press conference, which he did speak French, but he's been doing it since in little bit in interviews, and by all accounts, he's been taking classes and learning French, which honestly, that's huge because this kid is from Ontario. He grew up a Leafs fan, probably did the Habs growing up, and now he's putting himself out there, taking a risk with a language he doesn't even know, just to himself, to thousands, if not millions of people who he absolutely could and are judging him for his pronunciation and how he speaks French. But he does it anyways to respect the logo on the front of his jersey and the city he lives in. I love it from Suzuki. Imagine yourself same age and picture yourself being captain of the Montreal Canadiens. You would get eaten alive with that responsibility. I mean, the pressure that comes with is insane. I mean, it's probably the most pressure of the entire league. And he's handily with such grace, and he's being such a great leader and role model. I'm stunned by how good of a job Nick Suzuki is doing at being the captain of the Habs. Like, when he first came in, I remember seeing him in the trade for Pacioretty, like, oh, this shy kid who he looks like a skill-built playmaker is going to try Michigans and toe drags and stuff. He'll be a good playmaker for the Habs, but he developed into some kind of great leader. And yeah, on the ice, he's a fantastic 200-foot player, and he's going to keep developing. But off the ice, I'll give an example. Came out with this book, Pierre Gervais book, last year in the middle of the season, and he dropped some bombs about former current players and staff. Like almost all the media went and shoved a microphone right in Suzuki's face and bombarded him with questions about a bunch of guys that most of which he didn't play with. He was in the OHL when a lot of this happened, and they still asked him about it, and he handled it with such grace and elegance and maturity. And that's what I was like, wow, this kid is amazing how he responds with calm and confidence. His maturity is so great for his age. Before they announced this Suzuki captain, I was Team Gallagher, man. I really thought Gallagher was next in line to become the captain after Pacioretty and after Shea Weber. I wanted him to get the C. I love Brendan Gallagher, but I can't think of anyone better right now than Nick Suzuki to be wearing a C in probably on the toughest market to wear it in all of hockey. So yeah, I just want to talk about this because I'm not hearing people talk about this enough. Right, Suzuki brings consistency on the ice game after game. Then on off ice, he brings his maturity and calm for his teammates. And remember, he has a huge responsibility to carry on the tradition of this franchise, the Montreal Canadiens. He is doing a heck of a job, the Nick Suzuki. You have to appreciate his effort to be a great captain and a great role model for the Montreal Canadiens. Thank you to watching another Habs Nation video. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the channel, and finally let us a comment about this video. And remember, you have greatness inside of you, and we wishes you an amazing, great, and blessing day.